Wii owners who enjoy traditional games, but 2009 could be better, especially if we get to play some of the games that are already out in Japan. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, as you might have already guessed, is the long-awaited next entry in Capcom's Versus series, which pits the company's stable of fighting game characters against other companies' superheroes. The gameplay style is like Street Fighter on performance-enhancing drugs. Characters can jump incredibly high, do screen-filling super moves, and generally cause non-stop chaos. You'll recognize the Street Fighter characters, of course, but unless you grew up watching Japanese Saturday morning TV, you're probably not going to recognize a lot of the characters from the Tatsunoko animation studio, which makes up the other half of the lineup. Maybe you know Gatchaman? Or Tekkaman? Or Yataman? No? Not ringing any bells? Well, who cares? If you want, you can always just ignore them completely and play as Capcom's characters. There's Street Fighters, there's Beautiful Joe, there's the guy from Onimusha, and even Roll, the housekeeping robot from Mega Man. The Versus games have always been popular in the US, and this one seems to be pressing fans' buttons just the same as the classics. I certainly think it's fun. So will it come to America? That could be tough, considering it's filled with licensed characters that we've never heard of. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom might be destined to live in Japan forever, which would be a shame. The Wii is home to a wide variety of very simple games, and Let's Tap by Sega is probably the simplest of them all. You don't even touch the Wii remote. You put it on one end of this tap box included with the game, and then you tap the other end to make it vibrate. So, is this a gimmick? Yeah, 100% it is, but it's funny because it actually works. You can tap the box to navigate the game's menu, and then you can double tap to pick the game you want to play. There are 5 different mini-games in Let's Tap. In Tap Runner, you tap the box lightly with your fingertips to make your little person run, and whack the box hard to make him jump over hurdles and gaps. For Rhythm Tap, you tap the box to the rhythm of a song. For some notes you tap lightly, and for some you hit it harder. Silent Blocks is like playing Jenga. You tap the blocks in a stack as gently as you can to nudge them out of the tower without collapsing it. Bubble Voyager is a lot like the classic NES game Balloon Fight. You tap the box to float your heavily armed robot ninja along and avoid danger, and hit it harder to fire missiles. And the Visualizer mode features a variety of different interactive toys like fireworks or paint splotches that appear as you tap the box. Let's Tap is a pretty simple game. Once the gimmick of tapping a box wears off, I'm not really sure why you'd want to keep playing it. So, of course, it probably has the best chance of any of these games to get released here in America. Disaster Day of Crisis is a really unique game. It's a realistic, action-packed disaster movie of a game that looks like a hardcore game, but actually features casual, accessible gameplay. It's for Wii owners who are looking for this sort of pick-up-and-play game that doesn't have a cartoony atmosphere. This sort of person may not actually exist, which might explain Nintendo's reluctance to bring Disaster to the US. But it's pretty fun. You play as Raymond Bryce, an emergency rescue worker who's having the worst day of his life as natural disasters erupt all over the place. You have to rescue people by dragging them to safety, or from more precarious predicaments. You'll also get shot at a lot, and at this point the game jumps into a first-person light gun style shooting mode. It's kind of like Virtua Cop. You move around automatically while you just concentrate on picking off the bad guys. Sometimes you'll have to wave the Wiimote and nunchuck furiously to escape incoming disasters like crumbling ceilings during an earthquake. Disaster was designed to resemble a classic Hollywood disaster movie, to the extent that all of the voice acting in this Japanese game is in English, and it's not that much worse than most other video games.
Pay attention. You might learn something.
So as you can see, it wouldn't be that difficult to bring Disaster Day of Crisis to the United States. It's an alright game, but you know, the camera's a little janky, the graphics are not so hot. So while I enjoyed playing it, I wouldn't be too upset if it didn't come to the US either. Bye.